Hey, what's up, Hellcats? I have a new video here. I thought it might be fun, since the old DC Comics reboot thingy is all done. The new 52 is all finished as of this week. So I thought it might be interesting to do a video counting down my favorites, actually, and maybe with some opinions here and there about how this whole thing turned out so far. And thought since I did like a DC reboot pull list video, which I had quite a few people check out, and I'm very happy you did. I thought maybe I'd just kind of bring it all back with kind of this kind of maybe a reaction and countdown video. And first off, like all my videos now, are brought to you by The Red Knight. It's a self-published comic book by me, Justin Cristeli, and JC Grande doing the art. And issue 1 came out in July. Issue 2 just came out this week. I'm very happy the way it's turned out, and it's $3, $2 for shipping, and $4 for international shipping in case you live outside of the US of A. And you can check out the Facebook page and maybe follow The Red Knight for updates and see what's coming up. Hopefully issue 3 will be coming out in November, so keep an eye out. But hey, you checked this video out so you could hear me talk about the DC Reboot 52 thing. And here, of course, is the big free pamphlet that a lot of comic stores got with a couple-page preview of Justice League #1 and all, really nice info here, and pics of all the titles. Matter of fact, some I hadn't really seen before I picked this up, so it looks pretty snazzy. It's all nice and thought out here. Now, here we go. We started out. Now, by the way, before I get going here, let me make a little note here that I did not buy all 52 books. I only bought 10, and I borrowed a copy from Lindsay, who bought one that I didn't read, which I really liked, so it made it onto the list. But I only bought 10, and therefore I have 10 to count down. So these are my opinions, and so if your favorite book isn't on here, it's probably maybe because I either didn't buy it or I didn't like it. So you know what? If that's a problem, well then tough shit. This is my list. So let's begin. And we start at the very beginning at Justice League #1 at the 10 spot. Why number 10? Well, because yeah, it's not bad. It starts off things pretty exciting. It flashes back to 5 years. The new DC universe is now a 5-year-old universe, much like Marvel's 7-year rule. And this goes to the beginnings of the Justice League, where Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, I assume Wonder Woman, and the rest all meet, and some kind of big force seems to be bringing them together. It's hinted at Darkseid, but who knows, maybe at the last minute it could be somebody else and stuff like that. Anyway, this issue mainly deals with Batman and Green Lantern. Batman is tracking down this monster who turns out to be, one of Darkseid's demonoid guys. And I know what they're called, but fuck it. Anyway, and then, Hal Jordan's being a huge douche to him the whole time, coming off a little like Guy Gardner, frankly. And then there's a small little bit where we get to see Cyborg before he gets mutilated or something like that, and eventually becoming Cyborg. And then they decide to go see Superman, because this guy is obviously, this monster is this parademon is obviously an alien. Hey, there's only one alien we know of. It's this Superman guy. Let's go meet him. And then they go meet him. By the way, in one of I think my review of this, somebody got on me about spoiling the last page. Spoiling the last page, man. They said they were gonna go see him, and then we see him. I mean, how is that a fucking spoiler? I don't know. I'm gonna put that out there. Like when you say, "Let's go meet the guy," and then you meet him. that's not a big shocking ending. So, you know, let's not pretend it was a big shocking ending. And by the way, Jim Lee's version of Jim Lee's version of the costume looks really good. I know there's some complaints about his lack of the red banana hammock is gone. Maybe putting too much blue in the costume, but I don't know. I kind of like it. And the red belt does help out a lot with that kind of color scheme. I do like the way the cape, frankly, is coming off the shoulders there. I think the way it's attached is nice. And, you know, the S is the S, so I don't know. That's kind of that. I'm maybe not crazy about the fact that since Jim Lee designed all the costumes, they all look like one guy designed them, and that's kind of a nitpick, frankly. And I don't know, we get pretty much the first 20 minutes of a Michael Bay film here. So, you know, that's that. I think, frankly, it was kind of a mistake to start with this. I know Jim Lee and Jeff Johns are the big guns of this whole reboot thing, but I don't think this should have been the first issue to introduce fans to the whole big DC reboot thing. So it starts the list at 10. Now, Static Shock is number 9. Let's see. And it is done by Scott McDaniel. John Rossum is also helping out with the writing. This is Scott McDaniel's first writing chore, I could imagine. I can't remember him writing it beforehand. And of course, Static has come, his family is transferred to New York City, away from Dakota, which is nice that Dakota's mentioned, actually, because I was afraid that maybe since he was in New York City, maybe they erased Dakota from the whole continuity thing, which wouldn't have been, you know, that hard. But I'm happy it was, you know, still in existence. I do like this kind of emphasis on bringing New York back into the DC universe, because, frankly, all their books take place in fictional versions of New York City and not New York City. If you lived in a New York City in a comic book world, you'd want to live in the DC version rather than the Marvel version, because the Marvel version gets fucked up every month, frankly. I mean, go look at Fear itself right now. I mean, Jesus Christ, it looks like there's a 9/11 on every fucking block. Not fun. I would not live in Marvel's New York. And now looks like things are going to get more tricky in DC's New York. Anyway, kind of reintroduced the character. The history of Static isn't really totally erased like some of the other characters. This is one of those things where, you know, you could have like not heard about DC Reboot and picked this up and not think that anything unusual was going on. But very fun. I always dig Scott McDaniel's art. Some people don't like him, some people do. I'm one of those people who really does. I like the energy of his work a lot. I thought this was a nice, fun first issue. 4 round chips I gave it. And this one I have not reviewed yet. But this is I, Vampire. And this is written by Joshua Hale Furkoff? Filekoff. I'm going to go with Filekoff. What do you think?
Felkoff.
Okay. Let's see. And Andrea Sorrento doing the art there. This is a book that really got beat up a lot by fans. Even people who are like, hardcore, awesome DC Reboot, let's do it, blah, blah, blah. They were going, "Why Vampire? Fuck that Twilight shit." Which is, you know, an unfortunate problem. Vampire comics, films, and all sorts of stuff vampire-related has to be kind of going through. Anything vampire gets trashed for being, you know, Twilight-ish, which is kind of unfair. And this book, by the way, is very not Twilight. Actually, you know, it's kind of a little hardcore, actually. It's kind of that step just before American Vampire, although not as good. And we start this story with Andrew, who's our lead vampire. And he's kind of doing battle with vampires in this, you know, torn apart city in kind of an ashy-looking setting here. And then we go back and forth to his love, Mary, who he turned into a vampire. And she has become like the biggest evil vampire of all, while he all this time has been kind of doing sort of an angel bit where he's trying to like, or Louis from Interview with a Vampire, trying to, be a vampire without, causing a big mess, without causing a lot of evil, trying to do his best to be a good person in this vampire's body. Meanwhile, she's thinking, fuck that shit, and trying to create an army to take over the world. Mostly, we got a lot of intro stuff here, as far as what the characters can do, and a little bit of the vampire kind of mythology in this universe, anyway. Not bad, pretty fun. Lee's picking up the first story arc. And this is, let's see, this is number 8 in our countdown. Number 7, let's see, 10, 9, yes. Number 7 is Justice League Dark. Yeah, I don't like my Justice League milk chocolate. I like it dark. And this is Peter Milligan and Mike Janney. And this is sort of a new version of the Justice League thing, where the mystical characters get a chance at their own team. Instead of the Justice League having the one mystical character, which they haven't been really doing that much in recent years. Satana has been back on the team for the most part, but and I don't know, since Morrison has taken over Justice League back in the 90s, the mystical thing has been kind of out of touch for the Justice League. So this issue has pretty much Madame Xanadu sort of piecing together a team, because she is discovering this huge threat, these huge multiple disasters that have a magic base to them, like this I don't know just yet, but this woman named June Moon realizes there's a whole bunch of versions of her getting killed all over the fucking place. There's cows giving birth to machinery, and just a whole bunch of horrible stuff happening over and over again. And it seems to be a little bit out of Justice League's league, to say the most part. I mean, they're attacked by storms of teeth. That's not a good day for Superman. And so, therefore, Xanadu is kind of trying to put together a team. Also, Zatanna is, taking the reins, basically. So we're going to see a lot of Zatanna and Madame Xanadu, which is great. That's basically why I bought this book. Also, we got John Constantine, Deadman, The Changing Man, who I'm not too familiar with him. I bought a couple issues back in the 90s of his Vertigo stuff and couldn't make head or tail of what the fuck it was about. And the Enchantress here is as well. Love the art. It's very nice and dark and moody. It finds that pace it has a nice blend of superhero heroicness with horror. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I would probably maybe give this a 4 ram chipper. And my biggest beef with this, and maybe it might sound like a nitpick, but Zatanna needs a costume. I mean, what the fuck is this, like, bustier and jeans shit? How is that supposed to appeal to new readers? I don't... Why take, like, one of the best costumes in the DC universe, as far as, like instantly recognizable. You look at Zatanna and you know what she's supposed to be about, and it's such a cool, unique costume. I don't see anybody else in Marvel, DC, or any other universe, really, that looks like her. And you turn her into a Hot Topic district manager, basically. She needs her costume back. I will say, I enjoy seeing Madame Xanadu back in kind of a big way, from obscurity just a few years ago, and her recently canceled book, which I thought was fantastic, by the way. And now she's in 2 books, actually, probably leading a Justice League team. So not bad. Enjoyed it very much. This was number 7, right? 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay. Now to number 6, and I just mentioned that Madame Xanadu was in 2 books. Well, the other one is Demon Knights. And no, this has nothing to do with Billy Zane or the Crypt Keeper or anything like that. Demon Knights is... don't look at me. That's the first thing I was thinking of. Is basically, you think, is all about Etrigan, but actually, this is actually... I wouldn't call it a team book, but it's kind of an ensemble piece so far. And it takes place in medieval times. Well, actually, the last day of Camelot, which actually is the first issue of the Madame Xanadu Vertigo series, actually. But it doesn't seem to contradict, from what I can tell, the Madame Xanadu series. I'm not too sure if that's going to be canon or not. Anyway, Etrigan and the Madame Xanadu escape, and they're kind of traveling, and they come across Shining Knight, by the way, and we got a whole bunch of crazy medieval stuff going on. We also have, let's see, we're introduced briefly to some supporting characters. Let's see, Exotis? What's her name? Exrisos. Okay. Okay. And we get a brief snippet of a character that writer Paul Cornell seems to be very happy with. He calls her the Horsewoman. You'll see more about her later. The art from, let's see, Knives is very cool, by the way. It's a nice kind of comic booky fantasy style. Here, I'll show you some of the stuff. We got these, of course, these dragons, which look like dinosaurs, frankly. It's a beautiful book. And there's also the relationship between Jason Blood, Etrigan, and Madame Xanadu is very interesting, too. Really dug this book a lot. This is one of those kind of surprise books that came out through this whole DC Reboot thing. Definitely. This is 6. All right. And now, let's move on. let's move on and bring our evil to number 1 of Swamp Thing. This is issue 5. Scott Snyder and Yannick Paquette, moving on from Batman Incorporated. Let's see. And this is another DC book. This is another DC Reboot book that basically is still connected to the last time we saw Swamp Thing. There's been no radical change that I could tell. Let's see. Alec Holland is trying to get away from the green, but it's really kind of hard when the green is everywhere. And these horrible disasters are happening with animals, and this monster thing seems to come out of nowhere and attack this archaeological find, and is quite terrifying and horrifying as far as what it does to these victims of it. And meanwhile, Superman and Holland are having a conversation about, well, what are you going to do? You know, we got some really bad problems here, and you're kind of, you know, doing Habitat for Humanity here, Dr. Holland. Loved it. It's a nice little intro. Is there a bad Scott Snyder comic? I doubt it. This is excellent. I've been kind of like, you know, Swamp Thing's one of those characters I've been kind of wanting to read and get into, and like, yay, Swamp Thing, but you know, I don't really see anything. This is DC Comics paying attention to Swamp Thing, which is nice. This is definitely number 5. Alright. And number 4, now we're getting to the big guns here. Well, maybe 5 was. Action Comics number 1, motherfucker. This is Grant Morrison and Rags Morales. Pulling out a really fantastic issue, actually. And I mentioned earlier that Justice League 1 was kind of a mistake to pull out as the first issue. Probably just banking on, you know, the fact that, you know, Jeff Johns is ruling DC right now, and Jim Lee is always Jim Lee. So, I guess it was kind of a safe bet. But, you know, frankly, since Action Comics is the first DC comic, maybe with the reboot, if you really seriously wanted everybody to think you're starting over and this is a whole new generation and stuff like that, blah, 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 maybe this should have been the first issue. And this is excellent, actually. This takes place, much like Justice League, in the past, when Superman is still getting started. A lot of people are complaining about the fact that he's wearing a t-shirt and jeans. It's obvious, like, in the present day, he's wearing his Jim Lee costume, he's flying around. This is sort of, you know, Superman Begins, in a way. And there's no of course, he is now the first superhero in the DC Universe now, so there's no blueprint for him as far as costume-wise, so he's kind of figuring it out. And it's done in a fairly realistic way. And this is the thing. Superman, if you go back and read those old, like, 1930s comics, you know, obviously in reprint, Superman was a hero for the people, standing up against the rich and powerful. even in a socialist kind of way. I know. And Morrison kind of brings that flavor here again. And he's brash, and much like your great-grandfather Superman. But it's very action-packed, and he also keeps the action going. I mean, this is all going on within maybe a couple of hours or something like that, after he, you know, crashes the party of these guys who are, like, they're very, these rich and powerful men are taking advantage of several things going on in the city. He crashes it. He's attacked by cops instantly. He's chased. Meanwhile, Luthor has his own plans going on. He's tracking with General Lane, and he saves like a whole building full of people that was about to be torn down. This is Superman I really like. I mean, I like characters that stand up for the common man. Yeah, fighting aliens is great, but you know what? Sometimes people are just hurting, and they need a guy out there for them. Very exciting. Loved it, and it's really interesting seeing Clark kind of as a younger man here. And you could see his friendship with Jimmy Olsen more clearly, because they're a little more this time around as peers. This actually makes me forgive a lot of the whole continuity shift and stuff like that. Because frankly, I'm a big fan of John Byrne's reboot back in the 80s. And I never thought it really needed to be changed. I always thought that was a really strong origin story. But gotta admit, this is really good if you're going to start over. This actually makes the argument that they should have done a complete reboot. Continuity be damned. We should have just started over. And if everything had played this well, then I would have been able to forget pretty easily. An excellent fourth issue. Now, what could be better than that? I mean, geez. I got 3 issues. Wonder Woman, #1, by Brian Azzarello. Azzarello, damn. And Cliff Chang. And what Azzarello does here, he does something really clever. He doesn't try to reinvent the wheel in this issue. He doesn't try to get everything about this new continuity in 22 pages. What he's interested in is telling an exciting story with Wonder Woman in it. And we'll find out how his Wonder Woman is different than the one a month ago. And he's just interested in telling entertaining stories, which is what this whole thing is about. I don't care who went where and does this, and I don't give a shit about history lessons for my fictional universes. I just want to have fun for like the 10 minutes it takes me to read one of these damn things. And this is what he's doing. I really enjoyed this book, and I talked about it full, so maybe I'll kind of save my breath here. But excellent stuff. Wonder Woman feels like Wonder Woman again, really. This is the Wonder Woman I've been kind of wanting to see for like, I don't know, a year and a half or something like that. Love it. This is one of my favorite books of the DC reboot. I can't wait to get to see more of the horror aspect of Greek mythology within these pages. Loved it a lot. Highly recommend it. If you didn't pick it up, you should go back and pick it up. If you can find the first printing, or if you have to wait till the second printing or whatever, Wonder Woman is back. And #2 is Batwoman. Another reason why maybe they didn't have to do the whole continuity thing, because you know what? I can't tell from this issue that there's been anything changed whatsoever. This connects directly to Batwoman's previous story arcs in Detective Comics. Pretty much picking up where things left off. And matter of fact, I do feel like this series was probably kind of postponed constantly because of the DC reboot. They go, hey, hold on, no. I don't know, even Batman shows up at the end, but he's kind of in shadow, so you don't really see his snazzy new Jim Lee costume. That could have been any Batman costume, frankly. Williams is just a master of just telling a story in just an exciting way, and the way the past and present kind of interact in the first sequence is just magnificent. And he very effortlessly tells you everything you need to know about Kate Kane in this issue without feeling forced or contrived. I loved it a lot. If you've been skipping Batwoman for some reason, I don't know why, since she started in these Detective Comics, really should pick this up. This is amazing work. Number 2. And of course, I think you know where I'm going with this. Number 1 is Batman by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Greg Capullo coming back to you know, the big two after being with Image for so long. Man, I mean, how good is this book? Snyder really does know his Batman universe, and finally, after being frustrated with him working with the Dick Knight for the last year or so, we get to actually see him work with Batman, and God, it's just perfect. It's almost in a weird way, like almost Bruce Timm's first couple of seasons on the animated series. This is a Batman that is kind of dark and brooding, but he isn't really letting it get to him as much. It isn't really allowing him to destroy his relationships like, you know, it can. Of course, Greg Capullo just eaten up every page with beauty. I always love to see, whenever a new artist jumps onto Batman, it's fun to see them take a stab at the Batcave. And the DC reboot apparently didn't get rid of the dinosaur trophy and the giant penny. Apparently those teenagers were trying to get to read won't be too put off by that, which is great. And of course he has Scott Pilgrim technology that recognizes all his supporting cast, just in case you don't know who Dick Grayson and Alfred are. Here we go. But it's not done in an annoying way, frankly. And we get right off into a new mystery. Which of course we have, I believe, a red herring at the end, but you know, it makes for a pretty good, you know, closing page. Loved it a lot. I mean, Snyder's Snyder, man. I mean, this guy is just fantastic. I think DC should kiss this guy's ass as much as they can. That's pretty much my top 10 list. I was going to maybe talk a little more about opinions on the DC reboot, but I've talked a lot, so maybe I'll just cut it here and say that I have some mixed feelings. I don't think continuity really needed to be changed for some. I don't know. I think it's unfair that some books keep their continuity and some don't. Especially in the case of Superman, where Superman's books really weren't that ruined by, you know, previous works. I mean, granted, Wonder Woman was fine because, you know, she had just been ruined over the last year or so. So, you know, have good Wonder Woman show up is like, oh my God, just a breath of fresh air. And I'd kind of gotten used to her her history and continuity being destroyed anyway. So, hey, you know, anything is better. And of course, when I say that, you know, I mean, I think DC shouldn't have done it halfway again. This is funny. This is the third time they've done a big reboot. And I know you kids are going, oh, this is historic and all for it. This is the third time they've done this. This is the Crisis back in the 80s, 0 Hour in the 90s. That's basically when I became a big DC guy, is 0 Hour. And actually the whole #1 thing is very much like their Zero thing. Like during a month, during 0 Hour, they had a crossover where somebody was trying to change the continuity of the DC universe, and then after the last issue, they had all these Zero issues, which were basically ways to get people into the new readers into the books, and most of them were supposed to kind of encapsulate what the character is and where we're going from here. And that's kind of what these #1s were a lot like. Some of them read very much like the old 0 Hour Zero issues. And I do enjoy, so yeah, I mean, it is kind of like, boy, I mean, you know, let's start over or not start over. I'm a little tired of, because I don't know what's canon. That's the thing. I don't know what from 5 years ago is canon. I don't know what a year ago is canon anymore. And I'm not totally convinced they know. And that's the thing. I've heard a lot of defenders going, oh, they know what they're doing. I don't know if they know what they're doing. I think they're kind of playing catch-up, frankly. At least for me as a fan, as a reader, it feels like they're playing catch-up. So So yeah, I mean, if they just started completely over and go, I don't care if this happened last month, we're starting new. That would have probably been maybe the best bet. I don't know. And there's some issues that, you know, like Batwoman and Swamp Thing, they don't feel like, or Static Shock, they don't feel like they've been affected at all. So I don't know. The marketing, I think, was probably the most important thing about this whole thing. Is, you know, the commercials, the whole reorganizing of the universes, which was really nice. I do like they're paying attention again to the horror line, and it's almost like pre-Vertigo in a way. Like you know, DC had a whole bunch of like kind of horror titles before the whole Vertigo thing happened, and it does have that feel. I mean, I gotta tell you, I mean, with some of these books, it does have like a 1989 feeling, if that makes any sense. It does feel post-crisis, actually. At least that's what I'm thinking. So, I hope that helps. And if you have a top 10, feel free to post your own. As a maybe response to this video. You can put them in the comments if you don't make videos. But if you want, please. I haven't made suggestions to do videos in a while. So yeah, if you want to do top 10s, go ahead. I won't be mad. Push the button, Lindsay.